All right, well, we do have a comment here from David Barrett, my producer's holding up for me. What do Tottenham need in order to win a trophy?
Well, they need to see out games. They need to have a little bit more mettle as a team, a little bit stronger. I think you just see, we've seen the flair, we've seen the capabilities that they have to score goals, but it's just that little winning mentality to see games off. That's going to be the difference in keys, and I understand the supporters, they desperately want a trophy. That's what they want, that's what they're going to need to bring to that club.
Definitely, yeah, and a little bit of luck as well. I've been in a team when we were here and winning trophies, and you ride your luck a little bit as well, especially when it comes to cup competitions, and that's what they need. They need a little bit of luck as well.
Also, with Pochettino, he seems to be frustrated, doesn't he? He was talking about if he had won the Champions League, he might have left the club. Do you want to hear that from your manager? He's now, what, 6 years into his tenure as Spurs gaffer. It's a long time, particularly in the Premier League nowadays.
It is a long time, and we understand the interest that he's had from Real Madrid, Manchester United. Is that still there? You know, is this going to be still some takers for him? Yes, there will be. And at what point does he become frustrated? Does he feel like he's had the backing? He's got a wonderful stadium. So, in regards to the club, training ground, magnificent. The ground, magnificent. They've strengthened a little bit. He feels they're still not as strong. So possibly if he can strengthen a little bit more and a bit of luck, try and get to the top, then you'll see him there for a lot longer. And hopefully he will stay. And hopefully that new contract's not just a case of just let's delay in a little bit of time for the supporters, and then at the end of the season there's going to be a change.
Yeah, look, it's a little bit strange for me to be hearing that from a manager. As a player, how are you feeling? But again, you're judged on what you win as well. You're judged on the trophies that or the finals that you play in. So he'll feel that, has he taken Spurs as far as he possibly can?
What do you think?
I think they've come so far from when he took over. I think they've come so far. They're such an attractive team to the eye as well, Brownie. So when I watch them, I'm like, yeah, I actually enjoy watching them play.
I think they're getting closer and closer. The problem you've got is you've got two amazing teams in Liverpool and Manchester City. Yeah. You know, and that's the key. Sometimes you're just not getting there. The confidence just drops. We just can't get to the top. And then towards the end of the season, when you know you've not made it, there is a general dip. I know there shouldn't be, but it's just human nature that you're not in the race, and they fell away. But yeah, I do like to take some positives. We've got some great players, stadium, training grounds I've mentioned, and can they keep this manager and strengthen? Unless the quotes, we don't want to see more of these negative quotes, managers, players, to be all on the same page and just keep striving for a bit more success.
Did you ever see a manager during your time just be frustrated, almost like he doesn't want to be there, either for club or country?
I haven't, actually. I haven't. I was there when Kevin Keegan left England, but he felt that he'd taken them as far as he possibly could, so he decided it was his time to leave.
That's when Germany beat England, and then there was the old Wembley, and then he went down.
That was the last game.
What did he say in the change room? He went to the bathroom?
To be fair, he didn't really say much to us. He just came out to the media and said, look, this is his time, I think. He's listening to the fans. He felt he'd taken us as far as he possibly could. He's got to listen to what he believes in, the fans want from him, and he left.
And you know, for me, with Daniel Levy being in charge, when I was there, it was Jack Santini.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been through this before, where he knows if a manager doesn't want to be at the football club, because it was a disaster with Jack Santini. He didn't want to do the media, he didn't want to front up anything. He didn't maybe get what he wanted when he first come to the football club, and it was just a real tough place. And you see his body language, his mannerism. I've never seen that before, and Daniel Levy will have seen this. He was like
with
that.
The
players, he quite got miserable with them. The first bit he started to do it, but over time he got frustrated with his staff, the players. Everything wasn't right.
What do you do?
See, it was very difficult, and it was. And I seen him even with Martin Jol. He was a well-liked, good coach, good motivator. He didn't want to listen to his opinion, which was strange when he's your first-team coach. So it was such a strange time to see such an experienced manager in Jack Santini coming in, and as a player you're thinking, wow, what can we learn, what can we do? But I've never seen a bigger disappointment for me as a player, as a man, of somebody expecting to come in, which just didn't work.
And he's having a strop.
He was having a strop, really, and you see at a top club like Spurs, You want somebody, it's a figurehead, it's someone to talk, they want to see their manager. It's got great history, great beliefs, and that was the one they got wrong.
But you see that many a times with managers, I wouldn't say they lose the plot, but they just lose that edge a little bit. And I've watched it with even Steve McLaren with England. He walked out of a press conference, and you allow everything surrounding football get to you, that you just lose everything, and then you lose hope, and then you don't want that to. And one good thing about managers, good managers, if they can take that pressure off the players. You know, players are under a lot of pressure. If you can take that pressure off the players and allow them to go and express themselves, that's great. But if you keep putting the pressure onto them with your own strop, that's not good.
Out of interest, this may sound a bit odd, but Sven, how focused was he in football? Because obviously he was known for
he had
everything
two
off
focuses, didn't he? He had two.
Apparently, allegedly, I should add.
No, he was great. For me, it was great. We used to have this little board that you used to put and then just move all these little pieces around. I need you to do this, and this. And talking about players nowadays that keep looking over at the bench, wanting to know where to go. He was one of those managers. He would just tell you this. And when you went onto the pitch, you knew everything, everywhere to go.
Of all your managers, is he the one that you would enjoy a night out with the most?
I don't know. Probably Brucey, to be honest.
Well, that's true as well. That's true, perhaps. Any comment there? Which manager would you like to go on a night out with? Because they're almost like a teacher for you, a headmaster.
Yeah, it's always difficult. Whenever you've been we've been out, and lots of when they take you out on these team nights, and you have different managers, different beliefs. Some of you thinking, Can I have this beer? Can I not? Are they watching? Are they judging? And then the others are saying, if you don't join in, it's even worse.
You're fined.
But it's so different now. The setups, the way the players have to do things, and how they look after themselves, and it is tough. It's getting much more like a full-run business that everything's accountable for, and people are frightened to do things.